I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Trixtreatz. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for being on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Trixtreatz. You could just call me Trix. I'm your chaotic, neutral, chaos kitty adventure VTuber. Here to bring on quests and adventures every time I go live. How we doing, everyone?
We're doing good now that you're here. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So how long have you been doing the VTube thing?
I just recently passed my 2-year anniversary of being a VTuber, so I'm actually very new to the platform.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that are a lot newer. I can tell you that.
That is true. I still consider myself pretty new, though.
So, what got you started into it and content creation in general?
Like most VTubers from what I noticed, I learned about VTubing during the great pandemic of 2020. First VTuber I ever came across was actually the OG VTuber of Kizuna Ai.
Oh, cool.
I watched a bunch of her original music videos and saw that, she actually did VTubing content. From there, I learned about Hololive EN and JP and completely fell in love with them. And then it kind of just spiraled out of that. I went from Hololive to Iron Mouse to a bunch of bigger indie VTubers.
Yeah,
just kind of spiraled out of control.
It kind of pulls you in like a whirlpool.
Exactly.
It recommends this person. Oh, well, we'll try that. It recommends this. Okay, and then suddenly your subscriptions and joins fill up the entire side of the screen all of a sudden.
Exactly.
You get notifications from all over the world as who you want to listen to. What really caught you about it? What was the big hook for you in VTubing?
I used to do oh goodness me. I used to do IRL content. I used to be an IRL streamer, and I used to do IRL cosplays on TikTok.
Oh, cool.
And when I started doing stuff like that, I wasn't really getting a lot of feedback, and I was obviously having some body dysmorphia issues on how I looked per se. And unfortunately, it was mostly negative on the end. So I decided to terminate that channel and started to really dive into how to become a VTuber. I started on an app called Reality, where you basically could just it's kind of like a free to play like gacha system,
right?
Where unfortunately you had to do like gachas to get like your different hair accessories and everything.
Yeah.
But I started on there. I didn't stream too much on Reality. But what I did is that I learned how to screen record myself just talking on Reality without being live and then posting it on TikTok, making a whole brand new channel.
Yeah.
And I kind of went viral overnight. And I just kind of picked up a bunch of traction on there. And then once I upgraded my setup to an actual laptop, I had a close friend of mine recommend a $12 customizable chibi model.
Yeah.
And I learned about capture cards and I learned about webcams, and I basically just started from there. I just started crisscross applesauce on my bed. I got a mic and everything, and just, I would like balance the laptop on my knees.
Oh my god.
And then hold the mic in one hand and then game with another hand on my controller. And that's how I started streaming. It was the most scuffed setup ever.
Yeah, but my gosh, you MacGyvered that one, didn't you? I mean,
I did.
You said, I said, well, if I hold it right up here and the left foot does this, and
Exactly.
It reminds me of those old days when we actually used to have to tune our televisions, and my dad would send me.
It honestly felt like that, though.
Yeah, my dad would send me up like, hold it this way, hold on to it. That's the only way we get the channel if you hold on to it.
If I just set a specific way and balance my mic at a 90-degree angle, we got this.
Yeah, but then if anything happens, the whole house of cards comes down.
That's basically what it felt like when I first started.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously you really caught up to it because that's a lot of work.
It is. It is. I was very heavy into my research.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, once you got involved in it, sounds like you really took the study to heart.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Last year, VTubing was actually my full-time job since I wasn't able to get IRL work. So
Yeah.
every single little step in how I wanted to be a content creator full time, I took to heart. Every single advice I would get from other streamers on how to market, how to do just like, silly edited clips
Hmm.
to like, a little bit of like just chatting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What games to play. Like I was going all in on all the research and all the tips and tricks
Wow.
on
Yeah.
how to kind of get into all this.
And yet, it's a setup where you can have all of those in the book, and it still comes down to your personality and
Hmm.
and them coming back and being a part of it. And it once you kind of got that rolling, was that something that kind of helped justify you continuing going, or were you going to go at it no matter what?
I think I was gonna go at it no matter what. Something about just standard streaming and just being on Twitch and whatnot, and just I think it's just like the overall fascination of streaming and just potentially having a career where I can play my favorite games and make a living off of it, was just a fascination that I've always wanted to have. So
Yeah. Yeah.
really learning about how much effort it honestly takes just to even set up a stream. And then it's just like kind of the luck of the draw whether you're going to pop off or not. It's a very risky and gambling situation and being a content creator, but honestly I'm so glad that I took the leap and went for it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I've never been happier.
well, it's obvious. I mean, it's obvious how much you enjoy it. From I've watched some of the stuff you had up already, and I was like, well, they enjoy themselves. It's fun,
Mhm.
and now you've got some folks around you, that also help. Certain person that we interviewed earlier.
Yes, my loving partner Don Goobs. Yes.
one of the OG folks we had on some time ago.
Yeah,
Um,
he's definitely been going at it for a lot longer than me.
yeah. Well, here's the thing: having that sort of support is excellent. Both
It
both
is.
on and off the the internet. But
Mhm.
uh, that sort of thing kind of kind of makes the not so great days still pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It because it's not gonna be a home run every time you step up to bat. Um,
Oh, no, never.
yeah. So for me, it's more like I hope I get hit by the pitch.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
I've thrown out so many ideas that have just flopped, and then I just never look at them ever again. I just
yeah.
gotta keep going.
Yeah. Well, how do you get that confidence to do that? Because there's a lot of people with a lot of ideas, but they sit in the corner and vibrate. They they they're afraid to put it out there for the public. Is that something you don't worry
I
about?
kind of, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm honestly still very timid in what I do every single day. Every time I'm about to hit the go live button, I'm still like shaking in my chair, like how I very first started.
Yeah.
It's always like that. It's always like that unsettledness of just like, yeah, like you feel like that you've made it, right?
Hmm.
But then it's like in the back of your head, one day you could just not. And honestly, that's okay. I
Yeah.
honestly have to remind myself that not every stream is going to go well.
Hmm.
Not everything is going to be exactly like how you made it big when you first started.
Right.
Some days are going to be slower, some days are going to be bigger, and it's just a very how do I explain it? It's just I had to learn very quickly that some days are going to be bad and not all days are going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows, but
Yeah.
as long as you're happy with yourself,
Yeah.
Anything that I put out, I'm going to be happy with, whether it be at my lowest or whether it be my highest.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that likes to be very transparent with my community on how I feel about stuff. So if I put out something that I'm not a big fan of, I let my community know, hey, I'm not a big fan of this one. Let's just pretend it never happened. You know what I mean? And we'll try again the next time.
And then
I think that's just the kind of mentality that I have with my community and with my streams that have honestly been helping me continue no matter how dark and scary it gets.
dark is do you really have that problem where it gets to the point where you're you're you don't even want to go? It's that scary?
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean there are multiple times where I've had like big stream plans and I will be literally all set up ready to go and then I just get so anxiety filled that I'll just cancel the stream that day.
Well, I mean,
I did it a lot when I very first started because my anxiety was just so high of just like, sure, I had one good stream, but this stream's not going to be as good. I just kept having that mentality, and I sometimes still do even to this day. And some days you just got to take a deep breath and just be like, maybe today's not your day, and
Yeah.
that's okay. We'll
Yeah.
try it again the next day or whenever you're next available.
Well, it's good to have a chat that realizes what's going on too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you don't want to get you. There's some folks who would end up with people who are like, oh, they're not doing this again, and they're not taking it seriously.
Right.
And well, some don't take it seriously. They don't have to, but your own mental state and how you feel plays so much into how the stream is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And happen in radio too. When you come on, if you're doing a daily show on the radio, and you have a day where literally everything has gone wrong, including you're not even breathing right. You're breathing through your ear or something. It's just not working right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to know. And you're not going to be happy with it when it's done. You might be happy that it's done, but not with how it went. And they're going to know about it. It's just not going to go well.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with you are your own boss. So if you notice that you're not up to snuff for doing it, you just say, okay, guys, we'll try again next time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have with it, because
I really believe that it's important to have some transparency with the people that watch you.
Yeah.
But you also have to have a level of standard with that transparency, as in you don't have to, share like every single little dark thing that's going on in your life.
Yes.
You only have to share what's really important and what really matters in the situation.
Yeah.
If you give your community that much respect, I've learned for me personally that your community is going to respect you back. For when you do have to cancel streams, then it's nothing personal, like it's nothing that the community did, or it's not just me being like lazy, being like, I don't want to do it. It's just more like, hey, I'm feeling a little like iffy about it, so I'm going to take some time for myself, and we'll pick it right back up.
Absolutely.
I think just that level of transparency is what really builds a community.
It does. It adds that little extra layer, and as you mentioned, I mean, you want to set those boundaries though, and you can't let one person get through and then you have to let everybody else through. If you do that, it's just not going to work out right unless you do that. Has it been tough for you to keep a boundary along those lines?
It has been. There have been times where I've let too much of my personal information leak out in the past, and I've had to learn from that. Just like some things you need to share, some things you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes emotions can get so high that they kind of slip between the cracks.
Oh yeah.
And that's happened to me where I've been my own enemy before. But I've learned now to really take a deep breath and really think about how I feel and what I want to do each and every day that I try to do stuff.
I'm giggling in the background because I was a sports talk show host for a long time. Yeah. Sometimes it gets out. And you end up chasing the gremlin for a long time once it's loose.
100%.
And this kind of leads to the permanence of what you say when you're live. and you don't have a safety net, um, there are times when, no matter how wacky and fun or serious that you are, you still have to rein it in a little bit. Think a little bit what you're going to put out there, because without a safety net, you could, whatever you say could be used against you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's out there, and somebody's got a copy of it. So,
Exactly.
and if you wake up with a Google document with your name on it, you're like,
Oh
okay,
boy.
yeah, gonna be one of those lives. Great. But for you, starting off as a face cam streamer, you you did it for what? But you weren't like traumatized to the point where you didn't want to try it again. You still found a different way to do it. That drive to get on and entertain people must have been pretty strong.
Yeah, it was. I'm just the type of person that just doesn't want to give up on my dreams very lightly.
Mm.
So when I when I got negative feedback about me doing streaming, with my actual face,
Mm.
I still, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. There were moments where I wanted to fully give up and just be like, you know what? No, I'll just give up. I'll go back to my fast food junkie job and, just forget that this ever happened. But a part of me just didn't really want to give up because even though, yeah, I got negativity, I still loved every aspect of it.
Yeah,
And I didn't want to give that up.
yeah,
So instead of just doing it again with my face and, making sure that, I looked presentable to the world, I looked up other ways to figure out how to stream because I didn't want to be fully faceless. I wanted to have some sort of persona, some sort of image
right.
like around me.
Yeah, yeah,
But then I found out about VTubing and I'm just like, there, that's it. That's the one.
yeah. I have a tough time with folks being that negative. When all they have to do is change the channel. You don't have to leave a pipe bomb everywhere you go, and ruin somebody else's fun, or try to take a shot at them just so they know I took a shot at them. Blah 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 blah. What does that gain for you? And it makes the other person feel terrible about it. Doesn't
Yeah, exactly.
it doesn't make a lot of sense. And yeah, two, there are people who are struggling with how they feel about themselves anyway, and you're not helping. Um, if you can't help, just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really easy thing to do. I'm married, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just really really tighten your lips. Don't say anything. You'll thank me later for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to know too that a lot of those folks are just looking for a reason to make somebody else feel bad. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go from there. That doesn't mean it ain't gonna hurt, because it is, and that's what it's designed to do. But that says a lot about you, that you did not give up at that point, and you continued to look for a way to come back and entertain. Because I listen to what you're doing, and there's a lot of joy in it, and that means a lot to a listener, someone who's looking for somebody to lift them up and take them away from things, and you're able to do that very well.
I appreciate the compliment.
Well, it's true. I mean, I don't blow that much smoke, but I can tell you that it's entertaining to me when somebody enjoys what they're doing, and whether it's they're portraying a character, whether it's something, and it just makes it that much easier to listen to. Did you find that out when you were first finding out about VTubers, that there were just some people that clicked with you right away with their attitude and personality?
Oh, so many. I have so many Oshis, you have no idea.
You have a she of Oshis.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but that's
I I have so many Oshis that I look up to, even now. Like I'm not even talking about when I very first started VTubing, even prior to when I first started VTubing. I'm talking like now, like I'm finding new Oshis and finding even more respect for my current ones, you
mhm.
know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
To name a few, one of my newest Oshis, I guess just this whole company in general, Izaginia, their talents, Shao On, Cedric, Kafa, and Edu. Like all four of those talents are just so amazing, and I really have been enjoying their content since they had just debuted.
Mm,
Yomi Quinley of the Sox Agency, and just really
nice.
honestly, all the Sox talents are fantastic.
Yeah.
Hololive, Rarura, Fuamoko, Hoshino Marin,
There.
just all those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Mume before she graduated, she will always be my number one.
Yeah.
I look up to those guys so much each and every single day
Yeah.
that I get to experience, even if I'm not in their live streams constantly, or even if I forget to watch a VOD or two, just seeing their other content just drives me to just improve myself and really lift myself up and be like, you know what? It's not going to happen overnight, but one of these days I'll be just like them because I heavily resonate with them and how they hold themselves, how they do their content, their
Yeah.
stream style, just their musical talents, and some of them do music, just everything
Yeah.
about those individuals that I just shouted out. Just those are my tops. Those are my number ones.
No. Well, the folks in the bigger companies, I hope that people remember what the hard work they're doing behind the scenes and what they're
Hmm.
not able to do in that situation and what they're able to do. Some folks are able to do, you know, two different things, like, keep a different persona that they can come back and use, or something when they get some time off. But I'm wondering when they ever have time to do that.
Exactly, and which is why I give them mad props for every single time they put out content, every single time they put out a Twitter post, every single time they just put themselves out there.
Yeah.
And they're able to do it with such confidence and such, drive that it's just so contagious and that it just makes me personally feel so motivated each and every time.
How do you feel about the folks who've left the corporations and gone on and continued as independents and successfully as independents?
I think we should be nothing but proud of them, honestly.
Yeah.
We don't need to know the reason why they left, and it's not in our right to know.
Mhm.
What really matters is that if we find them going back to their PL account or starting something completely new, I think it's really important to like have us acknowledge their strength and courage,
Mhm.
and we don't have to bring it up. And you shouldn't bring it up because there's obviously a reason on why they would leave,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
There's obviously a reason why.
Yeah.
And obviously, they don't want to talk about the reason why unless they are comfortable with doing so. But most people aren't. So it also makes me upset when a corporate VTuber reincarnates per se,
Mhm.
that people immediately try to find their past life and bring up that. I find that honestly one of the most disrespectful things you can do.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's a reason why they wanted to do the change, or there's a reason why they wanted to go back. And I think what people should be doing instead is, instead of trying to dig up dirt about that person, we should be welcoming them back with open arms and giving them the exact same support that we would have given them in their corporate life or in their other VTuber life.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And I think that's the best way to celebrate it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And they're showing a different side that maybe they weren't able to do before to
Exactly.
you, and they're opening up a little bit more, and that should be welcomed. Doesn't mean you have to watch
Mhm.
every stream if what they're doing isn't something you like, what and compared to what they did before. But don't harass them or what? I don't understand that at all. I'm just an old man here. I don't understand everything. But it just seems like too much effort to do, and um I'll use an example. Um, Mint, Phantom.
Mm.
I mean, obviously they're enjoying themselves. They've had a couple of things go wrong since they restarted back up again, and then there was a question whether they'd even start back up again at some point. But you listen to a stream, and obviously they're enjoying themselves, um, and people are enjoying themselves along with them. You don't necessarily need to have that corporation behind you, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you really want to take to the next level, you got to have a plan.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Have you been able to stick with your plans for the most part, or has
Oh, 100%
yeah.
not. Oh, are you kidding me? Absolutely not. I may have had a plan on how I wanted to do just video game streaming in general,
Yeah.
or it's like, I had an idea on like big goals that I want as like when I started being a VTuber. Do I always stick to that, that little roadmap that I make of? Oh, absolutely not. Never. I've been like the type of content creator and also the type of person in general that I just kind of go where the wind takes me. I am very ADHD and autistic. I literally just go, ooh, shiny, there I am.
Yeah. Yeah. And that can be a work as a plus for you sometimes, and it can work as a minus if you really got something you want to get done, and somebody shows the keys up there and rattles them, and you start walking in the other direction. But I hear a lot of folks that are VTubers that fall on the autism spectrum or have ADHD or both, and they always seem to find something about it that resonates with them.
Mm-hmm.
What do you what as a person on that spectrum, what do you think connects you to that kind of satisfies the circumstances of autism for you?
You know what? That's honestly a question that I don't think I can ever really fully answer because I'm a keep it a buck 50. I just found out that I was autistic about I want to say 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm honestly still learning about, what that means for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell it to me on paper exactly what it means, and I'm just like, okay, but how does that affect me in general? How would that affect me as a person in my everyday life? How would that affect my content? Because honestly, I don't think it's really changed anything.
Yeah.
I think it just honestly just means that I'm more open about myself. And if a label, like, the only reason I talk about me being autistic is because I just make it accessible for people to know that, hey, maybe there's like someone out there watching me who's just like me and they're just as confused on how to really tackle it, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
So the only reason I really put a label on me being autistic is so that I can give one other person I I don't want to say hope, but it's also a mix of hope and also just comfort
Yeah.
and knowing that someone that they look up to is autistic and they're not really too worried about it. They
Yeah.
just go on with their everyday lives and stream how they want to stream and not worry about what other people are going to say about it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things too is people who have certain things that, um there's some folks who like wear it on their sleeve and everything, and that's the way they handle things. Some people get a diagnosis and they're like, okay, whatever, and just go on with their lives. Um, but I hear some folks who find out about it later in life that it's more of a relief that they know why things have happened the way they do. Did that happen with you, where you kind of explained some things you didn't know was happening?
Yeah, a lot when I very first, a couple times before I got diagnosed fully.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that some things that I was doing or saying were different from normal or from what I say quote unquote normal conversations. And when I first started, especially when I was on that laptop, like that era of my VTuber journey was probably the most scariest part. Not just because I started, like that part didn't faze me. It's just when I started to grow after I hit affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit affiliate really quickly. I hit affiliate within my first 2 weeks of starting to stream.
Cool.
Of streaming. I barely had followers on Twitter. I I more blew up on TikTok, which was a harder platform to grow on just by only doing TikToks.
Yes.
And when that growth started happening exponentially, and I had people asking questions about myself, and people were noticing that the way I was describing stuff just was very confusing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's like I know, but I don't know because of the words that I'm saying.
Right.
And I think that was the part that scared me the most.
Yeah.
So when I finally got diagnosed with autism and ADHD and a bunch of other
Anagrams.
disabilities, yeah, one of them being apparently like one of the rarest ones in the world, which is social pragmatic communication disorder.
Whoa.
It really opened up a lot of doors for me of just being like, this is a way where I can kind of let my community know.
Yeah.
And not really make jokes about it, but I joke about it a lot because it just helps me feel better about it.
Right.
It's obviously a serious condition,
Yeah.
but I go by the motto of laughter is the best medicine.
Mhm.
So it's just a coping way of me being like, oh, so that's what it means. Well, silly me.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just Trix. We
Yeah.
all love her.
Well, I'm heartened that people are able to find out. I wish that when I was growing up in the 70s and early 80s, we'd have known about it. So a lot of kids that grew up with me could have thrived a little more, or a lot more in some cases. But today there is still a stigmatism that goes with it, and it's strange that some people look at it as almost a superpower, and yeah, I think it's because of some television portrayals of if someone has autism. Obviously, they're really extremely smart and they know rocket science from when they're 2 years old and that sort of thing. But there's so much. No two people are alike in anything, and especially autism. You can't just your level of autism isn't going to be the same as somebody else's who can't function very well with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's levels of everything, and folks like yourself who are showing that you can have it, and it affects you in a different way, and you're functional and you're doing things that you want to do. I think that would be very, very much a beacon for other folks who are in your situation that didn't really know what was happening, didn't know why they exactly fit the way they thought they were going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would never, I would never have known just by talking with you and seeing what you're doing that you were on the spectrum. Um, you just seem so comfortable with it. It once you get started anyway. I know you said you're nervous before you turn the microphone on. How long does it take for you to be comfortable after you do turn the microphone on?
Honestly, I've been music has honestly been a giant comfort. So when I first commissioned my theme, or I guess I should kind of go back before I started doing doing VTuber commissions and doing all that big thing, right?
Yeah.
When I would first start stream, I didn't really care about whether parts of stream got muted and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would always do a starting soon music that was in theme to the game I was playing,
Right.
and also just listening to those, like some of my favorite video game tracks while I was waiting for people to come into the chat and get ready for stream. That's honestly what helped me calm down, and it still does to this day.
Yeah. Does the work involved to do it help you calm down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
that might be underrated, I think, sometimes. But does I mean, really, because it's something that you're focused on, and might take the edge off of being nervous about being on because you've done all this work. But some folks enjoy that sort of thing. You find yourself enjoying the prep time as much as going on sometimes.
The prep time kind of, how should I say it? The prep time at this point is just kind of second nature at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think about the prep time of what goes into each and every stream. I kind of just I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of just like think of it like a daily task list, like at work. Like it's something that you do so often that it kind of just becomes muscle memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
It always kind of hits when I hear my intro music for the first time of just like, oh, okay, we're actually about to do this. That's when it actually kind of hits.
Yeah.
The actual prep time way beforehand, it just kind of becomes muscle memory.
Yeah. Yeah. It's now a part of the system. It's ingrained in for you to do. We're going to hear in a little bit uh, a song that you put together. It's an original. Um, have you always wanted to be a singer?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you get out in the choir as a kid and
I
bump?
did musical theater for my entire life
Oh,
up until
musical
the pandemic.
theater. Oh my gosh. I can definitely tell you that I would never do that.
Yeah, the BGM that I sent you is for my 2.0. It was commissioned by the lovely Kevin P on VGen.
Mm,
And he has worked on all my themes that I've used.
yeah.
That was like original themes. I wasn't like just ripping off, right?
Yeah.
And he made my first theme absolutely amazing, which one of these days I will post on my YouTube channel. I just gotta take the time and repost it, right?
You're right.
But he was just such an absolute gem to work with. I would literally gave him a song reference that I wanted, and then I also wanted to incorporate stuff from my current theme into this new one.
Yeah.
And he just blew it out of the water.
Mm.
In terms of like actually making original music, as in like with lyrics and stuff like that, that is something that would be a while before I work on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different animal. Same species, different animal.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's one thing of having a tune in your head and being able to write it down with the catchy stuff, and then there's trying to put words to it. I always point at Phil Collins, which is it sounds terrible, but I mean his music is perfectly fine, but the lyrics are just garbage. I mean, he made up words like abacab. What is that? I don't know. It just fit. But the music carries on as it goes. But my gosh, but sometimes it just overwhelms what's going on with it, and but when you want to try to put something together like that, you're not putting together half the pie; you're making the whole pie. And when you got up on stage for the musical theater, did you have the same type of trepidation that you do sometimes turning the microphone on for VTubing?
Oh no, I was terrified every single time. Because like at the end of the day, it's like musical theater and VTubing honestly go hand in hand. I feel like where like yes, and like at the end of the day, you're being yourself, but the difference is with VTubing, you can be a more honest, true person of yourself in a more exaggerated way. But musical theater and just theater in general, you are playing a completely different character who might have a completely different personality to you on how you are on the daily.
Right.
But the reason I say it goes hand in hand is because at the end of the day, in both instances, you're performing a show. You were trying to entertain a audience,
right?
No matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that the difference is that with VTubing, you have the choice of playing a character or playing a persona or being yourself in a more exaggerated way or in the way how you want to express yourself. That's the main difference.
Yeah, but and with the musical theater, you've got boundaries. I mean, you can't go on and play a fisherman and act like Jerry Lewis, unless you're Jerry Lewis.
Exactly.
But unless you are Jerry Lewis, in which case you do whatever you want. But I agree with what you're saying. You still are out there with the audience. You have to give them your best shot, and remember that you're performing for them. And that means sometimes holding back a little bit. I mean, you might want to go into a character and just really, drown everything out and take over the stage, but sometimes you're not the front person in the thing, and you have to do the backup.
Exactly.
Yeah, it something like that would be so tough for me because first of all, I'm not really great with crowds. Better than I
Mhm.
was. I'm still not great with it. Second, I can't sing for anything. If you want me to go out there and recite something that's written down in front of me, and I couldn't remember the lyrics or words anyway, um, lines and stuff. Did you find that easy to do, memorizing lines and going out?
When I was younger, yes. As I grew older, no. It was starting to get increasingly more difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I just have nightmares of going out there and not knowing what to say or do, and just uh, well, let's get the next person on and walk off stage.
Exactly.
I just I've gotten better at it, but not to the point where I would be out there. That takes some courage, It really does. Getting out there would you consider it, courageous?
If I would consider what outrageous, if you don't mind?
Courageous, getting out on stage in front of people and singing and
Oh, courageous, my
yeah,
bad. I'm sorry, my hearing's not the best sometimes.
that's okay. That's okay. My talking isn't the best sometimes too, so don't worry about that.
Oh goodness me, you're fine. I'd say so, yeah. It's a big deal. Like every single time you just like honestly, even just like doing like a PowerPoint presentation in school in front of your entire class is kind of nerve-wracking.
Oh,
Now imagine doing that before a whole auditorium of people, right? Like
yes,
I think
yes,
you have to have some like a very strong sense of braveness. Like you can have the smallest role in the entire play, or like you could be a tree on stage and that's still a big deal because you still have like hundreds of people watching you being a tree
right,
or like hundreds of people watching you being like just a townsperson
yeah,
eating a piece of bread or something
right,
like that.
yeah.
Like any aspect, whether you're the main character, the side character, a chorus character, or just a bush. Just getting up on there, being on stage, being in front of that many people is courageous in itself. And the same applies to VTubing and doing content.
I would be the best doorstop that they could possibly have on me. I make a career, and it says Eric Loy bounced from play to play, by doing door stops and rocks. He was the
Oh
best,
goodness me.
the best rock. Have a star in the Hall of Fame on the Hollywood boardwalk, just shaped like a rock.
Mhm.
Now come up with a whole new character idea for a short story. Um,
Oh boy.
yeah, but there's one thing about singing for yourself, doing artwork for yourself, and then showing it to other people. There's a gap in there that has to be jumped. Since you've been doing the theater for a while, was it easy for you to make that jump to doing things for yourself and then doing things that other people could see?
Yes and no.
Oh,
I was very excited to start doing VTubing,
uh-huh.
but at the same time I was nervous because, you know, for the first time in my life, people didn't automatically prepay to see something like in theater.
Right.
They didn't like prepay for a show that like they already know is going to be good.
They weren't trapped.
You're kind of they weren't trapped exactly.
Yeah.
For the first time in terms of content creation, especially when you live stream for the first time, people actually had a conscious choice to either stay and watch or leave.
Mm,
And I think that was the realization that really terrified me
mm,
to this point of just like, was I'm going to be entertaining enough without a script, without a plan, really?
hmm
And people would resonate with me to the point where they would want to stay, follow the channel, and, heck, even if I get lucky, throw a couple bucks my way.
Yeah.
That was the part that scared me the most.
Well, yeah. It's it's almost like busking, I guess, where
Mhm.
I'm doing a song for you. Please throw some money in the tin can or something. If
Exactly.
you look at that, or you can look at it as I'm having fun. People are having fun with me. Um,
I more see it like that now, of course,
yeah,
where like I've told my community multiple times that I don't really like care about, if you can sub or not. I don't care if you direct donate or not. I don't care if you go to my throne or not. As long as like my only mandatory rule about my content is that if you're having fun, I'm having fun.
mm,
You don't ever have to feel bad if, I need a couple extra bucks. You're not able to help. I don't care about that. If you want to, great. If not, hey, no worries.
yeah.
I'll
See,
figure it out some way. Like some way or another I can figure it out. At the end of the day, I can take care of myself.
yeah, yeah. I can tell you weren't a radio person because we're just mooches. I just say that you hear these AI voices doing commercials on YouTube, and it's just terrible for one thing, and
Oh
secondly,
yeah.
you can't hire an announcer to do that. We will work for a used cheese sandwich. Okay, we're very cheap. We'll take anything. I
Mhm.
can't fit in the shirt. Fine, it's going to be a bandana. It's still mine. Give it to me. But having that sort of attitude does allow you the attitude that you have coming in does allow you to be flexible and more agile in what you're doing and how you handle situations, doesn't it?
Mhm. Mhm. Very much so because I don't have expectations for what I'm expecting. Like I'm not expecting every stream to get a sub. I'm not expecting every stream for someone to, do a contribution to my thread. I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah,
All I want out of my content is for people to have fun and
yeah,
just to forget about the stressors of the world.
yeah.
And that's honestly the main reason why I started VTubing is that the world kind of sucks right now. The world has been kind of, sucking for a long time.
Yeah.
And if I can hear or if not hear, if I could read a chat that said, "Hey, I'm having a bad day, but you streaming has made me feel better. Thank you." Then I've won in life. I don't need to be the biggest VTuber ever.
Yeah.
Just seeing that every single time I go live or just seeing and just seeing my community or even a first time chatter just enjoy themselves and have a laugh and just forget about all the stresses of the world. That's why that's why I'm happy doing what I do. I didn't get into VTubing for the money and whatnot like what some other VTubers do.
Hmm.
And you know what, if that's your reason for it, then that's perfectly valid too.
Yeah.
I'm never going to shame anyone for that.
No.
Everyone's situation is different. My main reason for being a VTuber and being a content creator was to bring a smile to people's faces.
Mhm. Oh,
If everyone's laughing and having fun with me, then I feel like I've won the lottery. Seriously. I don't need big numbers to show that.
I just won a free lottery card. I'm good.
Exactly.
No, but just talking with you and hearing that voice of yours, it's very calming. In a lot of ways, and very welcoming. Um, and given your background with a little bit of the theater, musical theater, have you thought about voice actor work?
I actually have done VA work in the past.
Oh, I could see.
Very, very small VA work though.
Yeah, but I mean,
I've done one animation back in the day.
ooh,
And I guess like my done it was like a very like it was like a very like scuffed like meme like animation.
yeah,
Like very, very long time ago, like I don't even know if it's still around. Like that's how long ago it was. I'll be shocked if it is.
yeah. But
That
well,
was that was like my one and only VA work I've done. Any other VA work that I've ever done, I would just play RPGs or do a visual novel and just practice then. But
yeah,
I would love to do actual VA work. Like I would love to be a part of like an indie animation or
yeah.
do stuff like that.
Well, you should do it. I mean, it's a you got a great instrument there. um, it really does, and for the VTubing thing, it does too because you can I can tell when you're smiling with it. I can tell when you're talking about something that's serious, and I can tell when you're something that's not so serious. That type of uh, transmittable emotion, because I can't find the right word for it. Um, is very valuable when you're talking about a medium that relies so much on the voice. And you don't have to have the best voice in the world, just something that people can relate to. However, you've got a really good one, and
Oh, I appreciate it.
and being able, and well, not just that, but being able to use it, and you have, I don't know whether it's through your work in going on stage and that type of thing, but you have the nuances that makes a conversation with you that much more personal. I imagine if you were talking about what you bought at the grocery store, it would still sound like a personal conversation. That is not something a lot of people can do, and that in you having that in your arsenal is pretty amazing. Plus that infectious personality of yours. With all of that, what's your goal? Have you changed your goal as far as VTubing goes?
Not really. As long as I can keep putting smiles on people's faces, that's really all I want out of this career. Like I'm very privileged and very thankful for the amount of growth that I've gotten in the quote unquote short amount of time that I've done streaming. It just really makes me feel like it makes me feel accomplished for what I've reached in such a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I've had some people say like, even though I've only been streaming for a year, I've had some people say that like, oh, I thought you were streaming for way longer. Yeah. I'm like, nope, just a year. I just know what I want in life. That's it.
yeah.
But
I just
hitting this
had all my dreams
mark
come
so
true.
early.
I just had all my dreams come true. That's it. Don't worry about it.
No, but basically, I guess like some of my bigger goals, I guess I would say they're more personal goals at this point. I would love to do more VA work. I want to be able to write original music and perform original music. I would love to do more song covers in the future.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to collab with a bunch more VTubers, either VTubers like I look up to. Like I would, if I had the opportunity to collab with one of my Oshis, I would be super happy. But and it doesn't even have to be a collab, just being able to, just be in the same call as them and even just being to hang out, that would just mean the absolute world to me. Yeah. But I guess like my bigger, like quote unquote VTuber goals that people have, like I've seen the whole Twitter channel just like, here are my goals for this year of like, I want to reach X amount of followers and stuff like that. Well, first of all, I've already met that goal, at least on my Twitch. I mean, hitting 1K in a year on Twitch was insane,
yeah,
and I'm still shocked to this day that number even exists on any of my content at all.
Wait, K is not a number. What does that mean? K.
Exactly. What does K mean? Oh, 1,000. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary but exciting.
Yes, it is. It's like, oh wow, I didn't know letters were numbers.
Wow. Yeah. Where'd y'all come from? Are you lost? Are you suffering from some sort of brain damage per se? Are you sure you don't mean the other cat, like over there? Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah. You're really sure about that? Yeah. This is a Wendy's, right?
Absolutely sure. There are no obligations.
No coupons.
No, I've already met my follower goal. Yeah. I'm more than happy with 1K. And even if I just stayed at 1K for the rest of my career, I'd be more than happy.
Well,
but I guess like my more personal goals is that I would love to do more meet and greets. I want to go to cons. I would I definitely want to do more collabs in the future with VTubers. I want to do more. I guess my biggest goal would be music. I want to come out with more song covers, whether it be short form content or long form content, and I would like to start making original music. Those are like my biggest goals of being a VTuber.
Well, I think that's well within reach, don't you?
I'd say so. I mean, what you're going to be seeing on the video is going to be my my 2.0 design, which will be debuted either, I'm predicting November or sometime next year. But I want to reveal the design now to get people ready for it, just to have this big transition.
Yes, I predict the future will be in the future. That's what I'm predicting.
Exactly. As in like what to expect from me in the future, which is why I say my biggest goal is to be working on my music.
Well,
and just getting into original music and doing more song covers.
Well, I'm not putting anything past you because you obviously put a lot of effort and time and thought into these things, and then you're enjoying yourself so much that I don't see why that couldn't be a big cycle upward continuing for you. And I really think people should check out what Trixtreatz has got going on. We're going to have the links in the description to find out more and get involved with Trixtreatz, and maybe even say hi to Don Goobs when you get a chance. Okay.
Yes, huge shout out to my loving boyfriend, my loving partner, Don Goobs. Honestly, he's one of my biggest inspirations for doing this giant push into what I want to do, and he honestly helped me realize what I want to do with my content more. So, major props to him.
Well, you're
not just because he's my boyfriend, but he's just an amazing person in general.
Yeah. Props to him for scoring something good here.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you.
Hey, the world is yours. Keep sharing it with us, okay?
Of course. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming on. We'll have, again, the links in the description. Trixtreatz, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It has been an absolute amazing experience to be on this show. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.